All right, are you seeing the slides now? Awesome. Okay, so welcome back to the Business Launch Masterclass, aka Launch School. This is the last in our 4 sessions. So what if there were a step-by-step process that once you learned it, you could launch an entire portfolio of services that your ideal clients just loved? That when they worked with you on one program, it was just a natural for them to move on to the next and the next and the next. That could radically transform your revenue and bring in a lot of ease and flow into getting and keeping clients, wouldn't it? Is that process that you would want to learn about? And is it something that you want to master? So type yes in chat if that's something that you'd like to learn about and master, because that's what we're going to cover here today. That's a go-to-market strategy that I'm going to share with you. Yes to ease and flow, right? It's my motto for this year, Beth. So welcome back. As I mentioned, this is session 4, and this is where we will tie together all the pieces of your business launch, your business model, your pricing, how you will go to market with your offering to your exact ideal group of potential clients. So I am super excited about that so that you can stand out and become a market of one while you meet your business and lifestyle goals and replace that 6-figure salary. And all of you in the room, I think, know who I am by now, that I have a background in corporate, that I was launching products and I was launching services as products. And I also grew a single division from 0 to 32 million in 30 months. And I have a reputation for getting launches right. So because the truth is that 75% of all businesses will fail for one not very good reason. And that's no market need. We also learned that 88% of women entrepreneurs earn less than 6 figures. And there's only one reason for that. And when I discovered it, the study, it made total sense. There was just no market need. And I experienced that myself in my own career after I left the corporate world, and I joined a year-long mastermind of other women who were launching their businesses. And I realized as I looked around the room that the reason why I was on stage on the success panel was because I was generating consistent 5-figure months, and most of the other women in the room were not. Now, the road to entrepreneurship is hard enough. So the number one thing that you need to get right is that people actually want to buy what you're selling. Because when you know how to create in-demand products, then you can make money anytime you want to. So I want that to really land for you. When you know how to create in-demand products, meaning services, then you can make money anytime you want to. It sounds like a bit of magic. And in some ways, when you do crack the code on your mission values and you align those to the services that are in demand in your market, it literally really feels like magic. Sometimes I wake up in the morning feeling so blessed that I have accrued these skills in my lifetime. And now that I get to teach them to others, and everyone benefits in this equation. So once you learn how to validate your program ideas and put together compelling marketing, you too will be able to create revenue on demand. And if you're interested in that, type me in chat. I'd love to know who's interested in learning how to create revenue on demand, because it feels amazing. It's like employment insurance. It doesn't matter what happens on the outside world if you have something that's working for you. And I know many people who were negatively impacted by the pandemic. And at the same time, I know others that were quickly able to recover most of their revenue, and still others like me who were able to grow despite what was happening outside. And I was grateful that I was able to support my family, assist my partner at a time when he was unemployed and battling cancer. My business was truly a blessing. And that's what this training is about. So let's create some revenue on demand. So I'm going to go back to basics here and start talking about some basic business foundations, because when you first start out, Some people, most people tend to go to the end of the line and do what's required later, and they do that first. And you don't want to build a house. You wouldn't build a second floor on a house that didn't have a solid foundation, because this is what it would look like, right? So the first foundation in building a business is to find the gap. So find the gap in that market, looking through that lens. What can you see in your market area that other people are missing? And then the next step is to differentiate yourself in a crowded market by either solving a new and emerging problem, or taking a slice of something and solving a problem in a new way. Or, yeah, that's probably it. Solving a problem in a new way, solving a new problem, having a twist on your business strategy or how you deliver. And I'll give you some examples in just a moment. Because find the gap before you go to market, because without a gap, without a problem to solve, you really don't have a business. And I guarantee you that most new business owners, when they're thinking about launching a business, are thinking too broadly. The second foundation is to test. Don't guess. Don't guess. So there's a lot of courses that you can take online that will help you journal out who your ideal client is, or what your online course offering could be. But the truth is that when you get to do you, and you get to be different in your market, the best place to start is by testing out what your ideal client needs. Because testing gives you proof. And wouldn't you rather have proof that people want to buy what you're selling, that there's actual demand for your services, and that you've defined the right client niche, and your market is big enough, and your marketing message is landing before you go to market? Because without proof, you really don't have a business. You still have a business idea. And basic principle number 3 is, once you have completed steps 1 and 2, then you can carve out a compelling value proposition. Your value proposition needs to land directly on a prioritized need that your ideal client has. And your value proposition is also tied to your mission. It's who you are. It's what breaks your heart. It's what pisses you off. It combines your unique ability to solve your clients' issues and get them to where they want to be, with a little bit extra differentiator that you bring with your unique perspective, your unique process, or your unique style of delivery, or your unique experience. So some of you may know her. I have a friend called Precious Williams. She is known as the #killer pitch master. So is there any question what Precious can help you do? She's an in-demand speaker because of her unique story, because she was homeless. She was disowned by her family. And yet she had a law degree, and she really brought herself out of the women's shelter and started using her gift of her oratory skills to start pitching for profit, which is the name of the book that she has just published. So she's known for helping people become expert at the pitch. And to tell you the truth, if I land on the Shark Tank stage, I want Precious to be the one who has coached me in delivering my pitch, because she has a reputation for training people to deliver pitches that result in actual money. So whether you're speaking from the big stage and you've got a keynote and you'll be making an offer, or you want people to be compelled to come up and learn more and work with you after that talk, or whether you're actually looking for investors, having someone like Precious in your pocket, there's a lot of P's there, is a strong value proposition. So as you know, I am on a mission to close the wage gap with women entrepreneurs, because women underprice their services because they undervalue their impact. And when women work with me, they expect to show up at a higher level and align behind a higher price point. And most marketing doesn't land because it's all about the marketing and it's not about the ideal person or your ideal client. And so without a distinct value proposition, what happens is business is a struggle because you're then meeting with people who say, oh, okay, well, I've got 3 other life coaches or executive coaches that I'm speaking with, or 2 other consultants. And it's hard to stand out as that market of one and being the only one who. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I want to check in with everyone here. How much do you want to make this work? On a scale of 1 to 10, how committed are you to making your business work? So Beth and Chantel are all in. Eugenia, welcome back. All right, this is a very, very committed crowd. Awesome. Because entrepreneurship is the new feminist movement. This is when you have ultimate control over your time, your money, the impact that you make with the clients that you work with. And the road to entrepreneurship is not an easy one. There's nothing cookie cutter about my launch process. The beautiful thing about this is that you get to do you. What I've done is build a framework on what I did over the last 25 years that worked. So for everything that I've done the last 25 years, everything that didn't work got thrown out. Everything that did work got put into the process and fine-tuned over time. So it made my clients happy. When I worked in corporate, the sales force was ecstatic. The CEO was singing my praises, and I got a hefty paycheck and a bonus as my reward. So now I'm sharing this same framework and process with you so that you can learn how to launch a successful business and not struggle to get clients. Because most people end up thinking that they have a marketing problem. And there are some common misperceptions when you first get started. So I hear this all the time. Deb, I'm not ready for Launch Lab. I need to work on my branding first, or I need to build out my website, or I need to work on my messaging, or I don't need to test my idea. I already know there's a huge market out there for life coaches or executive coaches. And most people do things, they do the right things, but they do them in the wrong order. And if you are a smart, ambitious woman with a mission to fulfill, now is your time. There has never been a better time for women on the planet. And let's face it, that better time for women on the planet is not happening in the confines of the corporate world. We're in the midst of a massive she-cession. And today, the Wall Street Journal reported on a McKinsey study where all of the jobs, 102% of the jobs that were recovered in April went to men. So I've coached a few hundred aspiring women through my training programs, and about 100 women have graduated from the Launch Lab now. But when I first started out, I was in the process of figuring it out, just like you are now. And I hadn't made the connection with my corporate experience and being an entrepreneur because I didn't yet see my corporate experience as preparing me to launch my own business. I know, it's like crazy. But now I'm in a different place, and I've put together a valuable program that has valuable programs and have a business that generates multiple 6 figures and is on the way to my first million. Give me another 18 months, 2 years, and we will hit that holy grail. And it all started with this launch framework that I'm going to share with you today. So I want you to stop guessing about your offers. And I want to share this framework with you, and I'll share with you the inside of what we do in each stage. So the Launch Lab is all about putting together all of the pieces to validate your money-making model in a very short period of time so that you have proof and you know that people want to buy what you're selling. So step 1 is to discover your unique positioning. And if you think about it, and you can write this down, if you look at your entire career, like what were the high points? What are the most memorable moments where you felt plugged in, where you felt vital or alive and excited and passionate about what you were doing? And what are the low points? were those times where you experienced an injustice or something just broke your heart that you witnessed? So those are your defining moments, and those are behind your mission. And so part of this journey is exploring yourself and your own journey in this process. The second part is to get confidence with proof that people will pay you to help them make their problems go away. I mean, I'm stating it very simply, and whether you're dealing with corporations or you're working with individuals, the problems and the process are still the same. And then we want to package and price those services so it's an easy yes for your clients. If you remember yesterday, we talked about the return on advantage. When you can have that conversation with your client, because even if you're selling to corporations, you're selling to individuals inside those corporations who want to look good, who want to do something right for the organization. They want to make an impact through their work. So we're always tapping into the emotional drivers as well as the logical drivers in putting your value proposition forth. And we want to attract clients with the right messaging and offers, right? So you signed up for these 4 days for 4 hours of training with me because there was something that resonated with you in the messages that you got, whether it was the email or the landing page where you signed up. And then we want to have a plan to meet your revenue and lifestyle goals. And the next step after the pricing calculator is really to download, I have a planning guide, and then build your marketing plan around your pricing strategy, your revenue goals. So that is basically how the Launch Lab works. Now, to succeed at this game, you need to bring all of you to the table. And right now, some of you might be stuck in fear or maybe a little bit of perfectionism. So perfectionism really took a while for me to get beyond because I wanted everything to be shined up, polished up, the I's dotted, the T's crossed. And what I realized was sometimes on this journey, you have to allow for it to be a little messy, where you have to collaborate with your clients and get them engaged in creating the programs with you. Procrastination is a killer because time is money. And if you're letting time go by because you have resistance, you don't like to be seen on social media, or you're nervous speaking in front of people. If you remember, I shared the story of my very first webinar, which wasn't even on Zoom. There was no video. I didn't have to worry about hair or makeup, but I was nervous because I didn't want to screw it up. And I had all my colleagues and my friends' pictures pasted around my office because if I didn't just do it, and there's something that a term one of my coaches coined called commitment exposure. When you put a date on the calendar and you say, I'm going to do it, I'm going to launch, I'm going to give a talk, I'm going to put my marketing out there into the universe, then you have that commitment exposure and everything engages in your brain and your body to do whatever it takes to meet that commitment. So you also need to get the right side of your brain engaged as well. That takes some strategy here. We want to make sure that our messages land, that we're effective in our marketing, and our marketing is working for us. So one of my private clients and I were just talking about building out her lead funnel and automating as much of this as possible, because when you are a solopreneur or an owner of a small business, your time is your most valuable asset. So to automate and delegate as much as possible. Then, of course, there's the sales piece. So you either have to get comfortable selling, you have to outsource to someone else, or think twice about launching a business, because success comes from both direction and your own accountability. So how accountable are you to be ready and prepared for your own success? So if you're ready to diagnose what's not working in your business right now, to get your marketing to appeal to your ideal clients who are happy to pay you a premium price for your services. I want to help you get there. So I have had Kim and the team make room on my calendar in the next week if you would like my eyes focused on your business, and if you'd like an honest analysis of where you need to focus your attention to increase your income. I'm here to help you. Imagine being able to replace your six-figure salary. What would that enable you to do that you're not doing now? How much a greater impact would you be able to make through your work? And what impact would that have on your family? So in this breakthrough session, we will review your takeaways from this training. I know not everybody has felt comfortable contributing. We'll validate your business idea. So we'll put it through the Deb filter on validating your business idea, your offers, and your pricing if you have them. If not, we can just start from the blank sheet of paper and start from a blank slate on what your business could look like. And we'll identify what you need to succeed. It is a research-based approach. There's no guesswork here. This is not my opinion. It's not, it's all based on information that we get from the market. And if you have clients and you have been struggling with selling, this is also for you. We can review your pricing, positioning, and your return on advantage. So Kim, if you would do me the favor of typing that into the chat, the launchlabassessment.com. So there is an application process to join the Launch Lab, and we do that for two reasons. One is I want to make sure it's a good fit for me with the people I work with. And I want to make sure it's a good fit for you, that you will enjoy this Launch Lab experience. So enrollment in the Launch Lab is open. And if this is your time and you're finally ready to step into your value and get clear on your pricing, now may be your time. We can explore whether the Launch Lab is the right fit for you in our call. We'll explore whether or not that's the right program for you. And I apologize to the clients who have already been through the program and who didn't get this bonus, but Standout Webinars is a bonus for you when you sign up for the Launch Lab. And the value of Standout Webinars is $1,997. So there's a special offer on the table, and the Launch Lab applications will only be open for a week. So next Friday at the end of day, we'll be closing down the application process. So you want to make sure that you get in your application, because we'll also close off the application process when all of the seats are full. And there's no obligation, by the way, there's no obligation for you to join. If we decide that it's not a good fit for you, no harm, no foul. We have spent an hour getting to know each other, but if it is the right time for you to join, you just need to commit to taking action based on what you learn. And I am literally invested in your success. And I think you'll hear that from the other clients who I've asked to join us today. And I will do everything in my power to be sure you get the support you need on this journey. So join us, join us. All right, so with that, I'm happy to answer any questions